If you've been playing guitar for 10 years and it sounds like you've been playing for 2, even if you're a beginner and it just sounds like you're not progressing, it's not your talent. The problem is you don't have a system and you don't have a schedule. So I'm going to help you with that. Today, we're going to work on a long lost curriculum that we used to do at the Atlanta Institute of Music back in the 90s when I was a student there. And I believe this was formulated by Steve Freeman himself, the founder, and Jimmy Herring. And I do know that when I was in AIM, Bill Hart did an orientation class, and he's the one that gave us what we call the AIM practice schedule. And every teacher there, Sid Wolf, Carl Culber, we all use that schedule because it's very efficient. So I've also updated this to include parts of the Shawn Lane method, and I'm going to show you a little bit about that today. The golden rule here is time is of the essence. And speaking of time, you're going to need a timer. There's one on your phone. You're also going to need a metronome. Those are very important. So Guitar Tuna has great metronome, timer, all that stuff. And you don't need 8 hours a day, okay? What you need is focused intensity. So the rule is you want to set a timer for 5 to 10 minutes, all right? And then you want to have planned out what you're going to do ahead of time. Do not stop playing until that timer goes off. But look at it like if I have 2 hours to practice, I'm going to set each subject for, say, 5 minutes. Or if I have an hour to practice, I'm going to set it for 5 minutes, and 2 hours, 10 minutes, okay? The other thing, so don't stop playing until the timer goes off. No exceptions. This kind of creates urgency in your brain. Then you want to take breaks in between each subject. And every 2 subjects take like 10 minutes or something. But you want to kind of just stop for a second and let your brain soak in what it just took in, you know. So you want to kind of digest that mentally a little bit. The first thing we're going to do is warm up and techniques. You want to get that blood flowing. You want to stretch it out. You want to connect the brain to the hands. So that's really important. There's all kinds of different warm-up techniques that you can do. Both hands, you know, and I would suggest, you know, maybe working out, you know, get your fingers flowing with finger picking, and also, you know, hybrid picking, you know, get that cross picking going on, whatever. So, boom, the next one, we're going to immediately start working out things from the Shawn Lane method. We're going to combine picking rudiments. We're going to combine that with what we call the groove modes, and then the essential combinations. And for those of you that do not know about this stuff, join our school. It's SKOOL. It's SKOOL.com/Shawn Lane. Right now, as of January of 2026, it's $29 per month, and you're getting a complete guitar education with both me and Sid Wolf, one of the former professors at AIM. And he does master classes. You unlock everything instantly, $29 a month, and you're going to lock in that rate for good. So if you sign up now, that rate's locked in. So anyway, we're going to combine Shawn Lane's picking rudiments, the groove modes, and the essential coordinations. There's all kinds of different things we can do with this, all right? So, for instance, the other day I was going over, maybe I want to do like the Paul Gilbert. Okay, so maybe I want to take that with these coordinations here, all right? And then maybe I want to go, you know, whatever timing I want to do. Maybe I want to swing this. And then maybe use a metronome. Always use a metronome. And then also, you're going to want to change up what you're playing. So I'd highly recommend Interval Matrix Pro. It is by far the most comprehensive scales and chords charting anything, and it's very interactive. Right now it's on the Apple Store. We're working on Android as of right now, and there's a 3-day free trial, but it has the intervals to any scale you could ever think of, and I just added 165 more scales to it, and all the different modes in all their names. That way you can have it visualized however you want to, and it's not just for guitar, it's for pretty much any instrument that's not a horn. So anything with strings or keys is very usable. And I try to make it affordable for everybody. So we're going to do the Shawn Lane method. We're going to work out of that. So you can plan out ahead of time. I want to do this scale and this key, okay? All over the neck, whatever. I want to do this sequence with it. So the next thing we have is scales and arpeggios, all right? Boom. Scales and arpeggios, all right? We're going to work on that for 5 or 10 minutes. So basically single note playing, right? Then we're going to do chords and voicings. So we can do that, and you know, it's important to always find new chords and voicings. I highly recommend Chord Chemistry by Ted Green and the Mr. Good Chord series. There's a lot of great chord books, but I would start right there. And then the next thing we want to do, look, even if you don't know how to sight read right now, learn it. It teaches you your instrument so well, and it just makes you a more complete musician. And you know, you want to try to sight read a little bit every single day, you know, in different positions and stuff like that. And again, our school covers all of this stuff, so we can show you exactly what to work on. It's a complete school, but it's based off the teachings of Shawn Lane from 2 of his students. And we have more of his students coming up as we build this. So after the sight reading, you want to practice new material. So the crucial rule here, you must play something that you've never played before every single day. That is very important, all right? Even styles you hate. Victor Wooten would say, play the styles that you hate, especially those styles that you hate. Because where you're lacking right now, that's what you need to learn. You know, you hate it because you don't understand it. But you start learning that stuff. And also, if you ever want to be a professional guitarist, and I teach every one of my students if they're going to go on to be a professional, because that's what I went on to become. But if you're ever going to do this professionally, man, you got to be able to take that phone call when it rings. You got to be able to take that job. That means you can't have opinions on what you know, you can say what you like and don't like, but your job is to play what you're told to play, what you're paid to play. But ultimately, your job is to connect with the listener, okay? And you want to play what they want to hear, not what you want to play. So, new material, that's very important. Practice material, polish your repertoire every day. Pull out stuff and polish it, okay? Music theory. There are so many different exercises you can do, whether it's modes or ear training with intervals. And actually, no, we're going to do that separate. But memorizing intervals. You know, for instance, you know, the minor pentatonic is a 1, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7, okay? Well, if we want the major pentatonic, it's 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and then if we want, let's see here, you know, maybe we want the blues scale, it'd be 1, flat 3, 4, sharp 4, 5, flat 7. You know, memorize stuff like that. So that's music theory. Work on that every day. The next one is ear training and transcription. Do that every single day. I taught you in one of my other videos how we can take intervals and use those for ear training. And there's a lot of free and paid ear training software out there. I used to use one years ago called Earmaster I really like. I don't know if it's still out there or not. But do some ear training every single day. And also it's important to listen to something, even if it's just one measure. Even if it's just like 3 or 4 notes, I want you to find something, and it does not have to be guitar, especially learning other stuff helps. But I want you to figure out how to play it. Sing along with it. Shawn Lane would always tell me, if you can sing it, you can play it, okay? So sing along with it and then figure out how to play it. But do that every day. Even if it's just 3 or 4 notes, you don't have to, you know, transcribe an entire piece of music every single day. Some people do. Some people go on and make a great living at that. One of my teachers named Carl Culpepper used to work for Wolf Marshall. And man, a lot of those shred books and magazines in the 80s, Carl was one that transcribed that stuff. And I'm going to tell you, man, he had a notation class. And that class, I mean, he pretty much anticipated everybody was going to fail at first midterm, and he would have a makeup test because it's very specific music notation. And that's important too, learning how to read and write music. And Carl was great at that. Although, you know, Carl, he was writing out some stuff a few years ago, and I was like, man, you would have failed yourself with that kind of writing right there, buddy. So I love to call out my old teachers when I can, because they were hard on us, but you know what? I went on to become a professional because of them. You know, they believed in us and they pushed us. They wanted us to be better than ourselves. And I want you to do the same thing. That's why I want you to join my school, dude. It's $29 a month. That's less than the price of taking one lesson from a guitar teacher. You don't even know who it is. And you've got Shawn Lane's tech and student, founder of the American Guitar Institute, which is me. And then you got the former AIM professor, Sid Wolf. And combined, we've been teaching for what, 80 years, something like that. That's a lot of teaching, dude. All right, so yeah, ear training and transcription, and then every 2 seconds, put the guitar down, take a break. You want to reset your brain. The other thing that Sid wanted me to mention is when you're working with that metronome, you want to practice with what we call relaxed control, okay? So play at a really slow tempo, but get it accurate. Make sure you're right on the beat with the metronome, all right? But hold that note out. You know, and when you are playing correctly with the metronome, you're not going to hear the click if you hit it at the exact second that the click is playing. But hold that note out, pick it aggressively. But then also, when you're trying to build speed, push yourself. Don't worry about the metronome. Don't worry even about the correct notes. Just push yourself as fast, as hard as you can go, and just push it further, 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 and then do the same thing with the metronome. But then come back, play it at 30, 40 beats per minute. I mean, just go really slow, but it is called relaxed control. And that's something that, that we talk about a lot. You build the accuracy, tack the note quickly, hold it with intent. Once you have that, you push the limits. Go for the speed. Fail fast so you can fix it fast. So that trains you to think fast. Shawn would say, if you can think fast, you can play fast. All right? Now, I know what you're thinking, Jimmy, where do I find new material and theory every single day for block 6 and 8? Well, folks, this is exactly why I built Interval Matrix Pro. It has over 350 scale types and 65 chord types. You literally cannot run out of new material. And you can customize your intervals, you can customize your instruments. I just added a bunch of new instruments I can't even pronounce. I even added all the Indian tablas for the Indian scales, because Shawn Lane loved Indian music. And we've had a lot of people asking about that. So anyway, the final most important rule from Sid and Jimmy Herring and myself, and Shawn Lane, they all would say this: keep it fun. Have fun. If you want to dive deep into block 2, the Shawn Lane Rudiments, the full breakdown is on the school. It's on sale for $29 a month. It's school, SKOOL.com/Shawn Lane. I mean, come on, that's less than, you know, feeding, you know, animals or kids or whatever on them commercials or tear jerkers, man. I mean, that's important. Charity is important. I'm not saying it's not, but, you know, invest in yourself. I'm making this affordable for everybody. I want the next generation of guitarists to be better than me. I want the next generation of guitarists to be better than Shawn Lane. And we're teaching his legacy because we want that to live on. So we're making it affordable for you. So I need your help by keeping it affordable. So anyway, the other thing too is to, at the end of every practice session, always play something that you enjoy playing. That I cannot stress enough, because you want to give yourself a reason to come back the next day. So you can adjust the schedule however you want to, but I have the schedule. It is on our school right now under the classroom. You'll find there's a lot of stuff on there, but I have this schedule right here, along with a bunch of tips and full coursework. I've got interval courses and the whole 9 yards. I'm Jimmy Hudson. I approve this message. Please like and subscribe. And Interval Matrix Pro is amazing. It's on the Apple App Store. And our school, you got to do that, man. You got to get on there. So I'm Jimmy Hudson. I approve this message. Thank you. Have a great day.